Providence Profiles. When Jesus was born.
Good morning, and welcome to Providence Profiles. We are here in our final segment of When Jesus Was Born. Today, we are pleased to speak with Joseph and Mary. Welcome, Joseph. Please tell us your story.
Thank you. Why did this happen to me? I mean, ask anyone in town, and I'm a pretty good guy. I work hard running the family carpentry business. Was engaged to a nice girl from a nice family. I mean, things were going great until I found out she was pregnant. I mean, that just didn't make any sense. That wasn't the Mary that I knew. A girl like that from a great family, she just doesn't do those kind of things. I would have thought she had gone crazy, but as she was telling me these things, it was like she was having a hard time believing them herself. It was like it was the truth, but it was so painful that she couldn't hardly get the words out. Now, I know the laws of Moses. A woman who commits adultery is to be stoned to death publicly for the shame she has caused her family. But I just didn't want to see that happen to Mary. Her family had been through too much already. They had had too much suffering because of this. So I came up with a plan. I was going to break it off quietly. And then the angel came and spoke to me. Now I thought I was going crazy. But the angel told me that the baby was the Messiah. That we were charged with taking care of the boy. Don't get me wrong, I'm a religious man. I believe that all the promises God made our people will come true one day. But I just didn't expect it to look like this. Nobody I've told has believed me about this. Don't you think God would have at least told the religious leaders? I mean, they're the ones that's supposed to know what God's thinking. But instead, it's up to me, a simple carpenter, and my new wife to care for this baby boy. I honestly didn't know what would happen to the boy, but somehow, deep down inside, I just felt everything would be okay. Somehow, I knew God would make it all work out.
Thank you, Joseph. And now, Mary, the mother of Jesus.
I remember that night so vividly. The angel showed up and began telling me how special I was and how Jehovah God had set me apart for a special purpose. And then he told me that I was going to be blessed. And then he told me that I was going to become pregnant before Joseph and I were married. To be honest, I wasn't sure how that was going to be a blessing. An unwed teenage mom in a town where gossip spreads like wildfire. How is that going to be a blessing? My own father couldn't look me in the eyes for weeks. When I would walk around the town, I could hear their whispers. I heard them saying, "Look at her. She comes from such a great family. And look what she's done. And poor Joseph, what a great man. He doesn't deserve this." I thought my life was over. And when Joseph came to me, I knew that he was going to come and break off the engagement. But instead, he told me that the angel had come to him too, and that he had told him he was going to do great things. And I could tell by the way that Joseph was telling me this that he wasn't quite sure if he believed it. I'm not sure if I believed it myself, but it didn't take long before I did believe it because I began to grow and grow. And when my belly was so big that I thought I was going to pop, that's when we had to take a trip to a faraway country, to a faraway town, Bethlehem, for a census. I didn't know if it was contractions or if it was just the donkey was unsteady on his feet, but I began having pains. And when we got to the town, I knew that I was in labor because my water broke. So we began looking for a place to stay, and one right after the other, they turned us away. I was clearly in labor. We didn't have a place to stay. They just kept turning us away. Until this one man who said that he would do us a favor and let us stay in his stable. His stable. Some favor, right? I didn't want my baby to be born surrounded by filthy animals and everything that goes along with that. But, I mean, it was better than nothing. And very soon after, my baby was born. And there we were, and as I began to rock him, trying to rock him to sleep, I began to cry. We were all alone there, far away from our family and our friends who knew very well that this baby was not Joseph's. And in that moment, I felt like God had abandoned me. So as I looked down into my newborn baby's face, in his eyes was such a calm and a peace that I've never seen before. And as he looked up at me, it was as if he was saying, "It's okay, Mama. God has a plan, and he's going to work it out." And in that moment, I knew God had a plan, and he really would work it out.
Thank you. This has been Providence Profiles, a production of Providence Community Church.